Come on, Juju. I got something better.
Hey.
Let's go. I rebuke. It may feel like I rebuke, but it's love.
Amen.
Hey man, I'll take that. Love rebukes. Better like hey guys, bro. You guys doing okay?
Yes.
How you guys doing? How are you really doing?
Great question.
Good. Great question, bro. What's up? You guys better be fired up.
Woo!
Yeah. That was really good having those 2 weeks off from preaching. I mean, like, I don't know how to preach anymore.
Bro.
Man. Amen. Let's turn our Bibles to Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10, verse 4. Take out your pens, your papers, especially your Bibles. I did not say like the lessons. You guys are really very just listening. I'm sorry I lost my voice during the GLC. Was screaming too loud. Simon Nation.
Come on.
Yeah, when I was waving the flag, I was like, and then it was, oh my God. It was crazy. It was really an experience. There were some white people out there like, people. That's crazy. It was really an experience. Alright, let's go and jump into our lesson. The title of our lesson is, what is the standard? What is the standard?
Great question.
You guys remember the standard?
Yes.
Are you guys sure?
Oh yeah.
In Romans chapter 10, verse 4, it says, Christ is the culmination of the law so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. Culmination means the highest or the climactic points of something. So it means the standard. And so, right here, Paul says that Christ is the highest point or the standard of the law himself, representing the whole plan of salvation. He is the instrument that broadly describes God's righteousness. See, Jesus fulfilled the law, and in that, he perfectly exemplified God's righteousness, or God's desires, in everything that he did. And so the question is, have you followed God's examples? Have you followed Jesus' examples in the last few weeks? In Matthew 5, verse 17. Matthew 5, verse 17, it says, Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. See here, Jesus, he personified perfect love and government. He is the perfect man, yet also God in the flesh. And he says that he has come to fulfill the law, not to change it. He has come to remind you of that standard, not to change the standard. And so right here, it shows that Jesus is the standard. And so we got to ask ourselves, have we followed the examples of Jesus?
Come on, Juju.
But the issue is that people nowadays have different views of the standard. Or have different people as standard. Some people say it's their parents. They have their parents as the standard. Some people say it's the pastor. It's not Juju. Juju's not the standard. Maybe in some way, but he's not there. Some people say it's the people that have overcome life, that have overcome the challenges. They understand. Wow. But if you turn your Bibles to Matthew 23, Matthew chapter 23, verse 5 to 12. I thought I got my voice back, but clearly I have it. Matthew chapter 23, verse 5 to 12. It says, Everything they do is done for people to see. They make the phylacteries wide and the tassels of their garment long. They love the place of honor at banquets and the most important seats in the synagogues. They love to be greeted with respect in the marketplace and to be called rabbi by others. But you are not to be called rabbi, for you have one teacher, and you are all brothers. And do not call yourself anyone on earth, and do not call anyone on earth Father, for you have one Father, and he is in heaven. Nor are you to call instructors, nor are you to be called instructors, for you have one instructor, the Messiah. The greatest among you will be your servants, for those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I'll stop right there. Wow. See, what the scripture is saying right here is that there is only to be one standard.
Yeah. That's
right. And that standard has already been set.
Wow.
We cannot come into Christianity and say that this is our standard. Or make your own standard. The standard has already been set, and the standard is Jesus.
Yeah. Wow, that's true.
And if you cannot find the standard of Jesus, then you need to study the Bible. And everyone who comes after Jesus is to live up to the standard. No one is to come and change the standard or reset the standard. Right. And so the question is, what is Jesus? What has Jesus set the standard in?
Come on, Juju, help us out.
But number one, the standard of love. Jesus has set the standard of love. Wow. It is about loving God. Yeah. In Matthew 22, verse 37 to 40. Matthew 22, verse 37 to 40. It says, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. All the laws and the prophets add on these two commandments. Wow. See, the standard of love should be God first, and then everything else. It should be God first, His kingdom, and then everything else. That's right. Nothing less. Yeah. You see, to be honest, the GLC was very convicted, like I said. I got convicted from the first session I was there, all the way up to when we leave.
Let's go, Juju.
And it exposed me of my sin, of the sin that I was in. It was crazy. I never thought that it was really bad. It was that bad. But that sin was greed. What really got to me is that my sin was affecting all of those around me. And I didn't see it. I remember when we first got to the Airbnb, we got put into our rooms. I remember telling Joe, I was like, Joe, I snore really bad. And so we were supposed to sleep in the living room, and so we got told that we were going to sleep in the garage, the room at the back. And so it was me and a few of the brothers, the single brothers, and one of the brothers was James Clark and Emmanuel. Emmanuel had a wife, but he took, there was another room, there was no other room, so he had to stay with us. And so it was us in the back room, and then everyone else, we had Scotty like next to us, and then we had the living room where the Merrick and some of the girls were staying at, and then we had another room at the front where we have, you guys will meet them as Aaron and Fang, and then G and Demas, and then we had Joe and Carrot. But it was quite a big house we was going around. And so, after we were sleeping, I thought I did a good job of hiding my snoring. Like I slipped on my front like this. But I woke up like this. It was really bad. It was really bad. I slept on the front like this, and like, I got this. Like, I slept right next to the wall, so I woke up around. But man, I woke up like this. It was really bad. And so, one thought comes to mind, like, I bet everyone heard me snoring. When I came to the front, everyone was like looking at me. That was really bad. I just get very experienced, like, she was really embarrassed. But man, the leaders had to really like set me straight and disciple me on that. Man, my snoring, it went throughout the whole room, waking me up. And I felt bad for the guys that were sleeping next to me. I couldn't sleep. And so the next day came, I did the same thing, trying to bring the chair closer and go to the wall and sleep. I woke up like this. That was really bad. But I'm really grateful I got the discipled on it. And I really got to see that my sin was affecting those around me. You see, me being greedy led to me like being overweight than I am now. And me snoring, and now everyone has to wake up because of me snoring. And it's crazy. It really shows that I wasn't really loving God. It really showed me what my standard was. It was really not the standard of Jesus. Really not the standard where I need to be. And as the leader, I really want to apologize to you guys for not being the standard for you guys to really be an example. For you guys to really follow. And maybe you guys are going through something similar. Maybe a different challenge in yourselves. The only question is, what are you going to do about it to change? What are you going to do to change from it?
That's right.
I'm really grateful for this GRC because I really got the cycle of it, and I got some help. I had to call today. I called up Emmanuel. He was the guy that was going through the same thing. Now he had lost so many weight. From getting some advice from Michael Williamson.
Let's go.
Michael Williamson looks slim.
Yeah.
Crazy. There were a few of the world sector leaders that were like slim. Wow, that's crazy. There was Michael Williamson, Luke Speckman, Rahul. It was crazy. These guys were being the example and being the standard where we should be. And so Emmanuel got some advice from Michael Williamson, and now I'm getting some advice from Emmanuel. And so I got some advice. Got a diet together. Now got to be eating egg whites in the morning. Hot potato like this in the morning. I'll be eating a piece of chicken like this for dinner. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready to change. I'm also calling you guys to change your phone to be someone to be there with us, walking us through. And that someone for me is Emmanuel. He's gonna be calling me every day and see how am I going to go out of my diet, of my training.
Wow.
And I know that the boys at the household is gonna wake me up early in the morning as well. So
Come on, Ranky.
But it's about us helping each other.
Yeah.
Let's strive to make a change, not only in our lives, but strive to be the examples for those around us. Those who are lost cannot see the real love in us unless we show it to each other. So let's really be the example and really see where we need to be and be the example for everyone.
Come on, Juju.
There is loving the kingdom in Matthew chapter 12, verse 48 to 50. Matthew 12, verse 48 to 50.
Bro.
It says, he replied to him, who is my mother? And who is my father? And who is my brother, sir? Pointing to the disciples, to his disciples, he said, here are my brother, here are my mother and brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother. See, right here, Jesus wasn't afraid to put the kingdom above his family.
Wow.
And to be honest, all of us, I know we all value our families very much. I do as well. It's crazy. And I think it's just how we grew up, is that we love our family. And we all put it in that where we have to obey our families above everything else. But right here, Jesus has set the standard of how we should love our family.
Yeah.
He says that whoever does the will of my Father, who is God, is his family. So it shows that Jesus has put his spiritual family above his worldly family. And so the question is, have you been consistent in it? Have you been doing it, or have you been going back? Have you been going back to your family instead of trusting that God will help your family? You see, me leaving, me and Barry leaving, really helped my parents see that I'm really serious about this. That I'm really serious about going after God. And so she tried to call me every day, and sometimes I would miss her calls, and She would call me the next time and I would answer and she would cry. And say that why don't I answer the phone? I was just saying that I'm just a little bit busy. But I'm not going back on my convictions to putting God first. Because I know that if I put God first constantly and consistently, they will eventually see that they need to be in the kingdom. Yeah. They will eventually see that this is the true kingdom of God. Yeah. And so my challenge for you guys, maybe you guys are just wavering to your families as well. I know, again, it's tough. But if you really want to save your family, you gotta have a conviction that God and His kingdom comes first. Right. You gotta have convictions to put always His kingdom before your family. Right. And they will eventually see it, I promise. They'll eventually see it. I mean, for Kev, it took him 50 plus years, or 50 years, to baptize him up. Right. It's true. But it took him on his convictions and prayer to really, for his mom to really see the truth. Wow. I met one of the leaders. He's leading in Usoalii now. He said that it took him 20 years. Wow. Of prayer and constantly being on his convictions of the church, of the kingdom, and of the word, that his mom decided to be baptized into. Come on. So it's not impossible. It just takes a little time, but it also takes your convictions and your prayer. Right. Come on, Juju. But you gotta put the kingdom first above your family. Right. It is about us modeling the standards for our family, just as how Jesus did for his as well. Let's go, Juju. In Luke chapter 14, verse 26 to 27.
Come on, Juju.
Luke 14, verse 26 to 27. It says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brother and sister, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. See, Jesus did not just talk the talk, he walked the talk. He walked what he was saying. Jesus knew that the only way for his family to become disciples is that if he sets the standards for them. And so the question is, have you set the standards for your family? Have you been an example for your family? You know, in your convictions, in your sharing, have you been sharing to your family? Or have you been just letting off steam to your family? But you get angry at your brothers or sisters that are at home. You get angry at your mother and just lash out. Or are you patient with them, knowing that God will help you? Wow. Now in Acts chapter 1, verse 14, let's continue. Remember, Acts chapter 1, verse 14, it says, they all joined together constantly in prayer along with the woman and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brother. See, his family ended up joining the disciples. In the same way, if you want your family to be saved, and want your family joining you as well, you have to model the example and model the standard of Jesus for your family. Model the standard of salvation to your family. And that will take some time, that will take you prayers, and that will take you on your convictions of the word. And you got to not waver in it, not lose faith, and not be going back and forth to your parents and to your family and giving them money when you shouldn't. I know our family wants money up from myself. My parents always ask me for money. I was like, and I have a set budget. Like, no, I'm out of money. But it takes you not wavering your convictions for them to actually see it. Yeah. In Luke 19, verse 10. We gotta love the lost. It's about loving the lost as well. See, Jesus has set the standard in loving the lost as well. Luke chapter 19, verse 10. It says, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. See, this was the only purpose that Jesus had come to. Came to earth to seek and save the lost. We got to love the lost and be able to save it, just as someone else did for you as well. Come on, Juju. No, the question is, have you been lukewarm? How has your sharing been? Sometimes you can be busy out in the streets looking like you're sharing, but you're not really sharing. How do I know that? Because I was that. I can be that person as well. I can just walk around the whole plaza and not share with one person. It's crazy.
Come on.
Come on, Juju.
But you gotta really see that as you're not really being fruitful. You gotta really see that you're not really impacting people's lives. You're not really living up to the standard that Jesus has set.
Wow.
It says that the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost. That was the purpose that Jesus came to. And since we are baptized into Jesus, this became our purpose as well. So the question is, have you lived up to that standard? Have you lived that purpose? Do you only share once a day when we come up or when we come together for the time of sharing? Or do you share wherever you go? Do you share at your school, at your work? You see, someone had to go through immeasurable challenges to really get it. I know for me, it took me a year and a half for Douglas, Bonnie, and even Omi to actually try to get me out to come to my first Bible tour. That's crazy, to the first Bible tour. Not to be baptized, to the first Bible tour. And it took me like another half a year to actually study the Bible. It was crazy.
Come on.
But I'm really grateful for these guys really putting in that hard work.
Come on, now,
But that's what's going to take for us to really save people. It takes hard work. You really got to put in the hard work to really save people. If you want to be fruitful, that's what you got to do. And then you got to find solutions on how to be hard work. Maybe you got to find the most spiritual person that shares a lot, that has a lot of studies, and really go with that person. Or maybe you just got to raise your hand up and say that I'm not being effective in my sharing. And we can figure out a solution.
Come on, Juju.
In Matthew 28, verse 19 to 20.
Let's go, bro.
It says, therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. See, only then, or the only way we can save the lost is by doing it Jesus' way. It's by loving them. No, have you really been setting the example of love in the people that you share with? The people that you study the Bible with? Do you just study the Bible with them, or do you buy another drink for them? Just try to show them the love. Do you try to get to know the person before you study the Bible with them? Sometimes people don't care how much you know unless they see how much you care. That's right. It takes how much you really invest into that person for them to actually see that you are truly a person of God.
Wow.
Come on.
So the question is, do you love, have you loved in the standard of Jesus? Have you really loved God, your family, the kingdom, the lost in the standard of Jesus? If not, I can really help. You just really got to put up your hand and say that you need help. Point number 2, the standard of giving.
Come on, Juju.
Now, how is your giving? Number 1, giving to God. In Luke chapter 21, verse 1 to 4. Luke chapter 21, verse 1 to 4. It says, as Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. Truly I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth. But she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. See, the question is, how is your giving to God? You see, it's really sad we had to go through the contribution report yesterday, and almost half of the church didn't give. And the question is, why? What is going on? Are you struggling? If you are, you really got to put your hand out and say that you need help. You really got to find a solution Because you can't claim that you love God and you not give to God.
Wow.
See, your giving to God goes to help finance the venue that we are hosting our services in. Goes to help mission teams get sent out to the Pacific, to any other nations that really needs the kingdom. See, some people gave so that the kingdom can be here in Samoa.
Yeah.
And so the question is, how is your giving? If you really need help, you really put your hand up and say that you need help. That is why we are here together. That's why it says seek the kingdom first and his righteousness. That's why it says seek the kingdom first. Because God knows that these are the people that will help you. God knows that these are the people that will help you get to heaven. And so people can't help you unless you say that you need help. I appreciate one of the brothers put up his hand yesterday about the time of them and really opened up his heart saying that he really needs help financially. That he's been struggling, he's been asking for money around from his family and from the disciples, and he really needs help. And he's really struggling to go back and forth between God. And so we really sat down, we came up with a plan, and one of the brothers also helped him out in making a budget. So, and now he's really he's doing okay. But that was something that was really heavy on his heart. But it's about us helping each other. We cannot help each other unless you really put up your hand and say that you need it.
Come on.
And so maybe after this, maybe you're feeling some type of way that you're really heavy in your heart. Maybe after this, you just need to talk to your disciple and maybe say that you need help. And you come to us and talk to us as well. I can help you. We can find a solution. But it's about us helping each other get to heaven. You know, in our special contribution, we really gotta see that our special contribution is really important. It is, yes, it is your giving to God, but it's also help the kingdom. It also helps our convictions. I don't know if you guys remember our 5 core convictions as a church, which the number 5 was to evangelize all nations. And we can't evangelize all nations without money, of course. And so that is where our special contribution goes. It goes to help evangelize the whole nation. It goes to help the missionaries that are bold enough to really put up their hands and say that they want to go to that nations, even though they don't know what they're getting themselves into. To really help them financially, and to really help them be stable so that they can find jobs. So that they can do the work of God.
What's up, bro?
And I really do want to lift up the mission team that came here. I know that most of them are gone, but there are only 3 remains. It's really, I bet that was really challenging coming here. Like giving up every aim that they know. I know for Douglas, it's been a real challenge. We're really trusting God, and if you look at us now, we are 31 in total. Before the mission's gone, after most of the missionaries gone, and it is all up to them, and it's all because God blesses them.
Amen.
But that is where your giving goes. It helps fund the church. It helps build up the kingdom. It helps plant the kingdom in everywhere they need to. In John 13, verse 34 to 35.
Come on, Juju.
John 13, verse 34 to 35. It says, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another."
Wow.
See, Jesus has also set the standard in giving to the kingdom.
That's true.
You see, Jesus has set the standard by giving his life to each and every one of us, to sacrifice so that we may be saved.
Yeah.
You see, giving to help a brother or sister that is in need. And it may not just be about money. It may just be about your time. Sometimes you just need to give your time to that person.
Wow. That's true.
And really just listen. Give your heart. I know that some of the people in here are struggling. Sometimes we may not know, but if we really give our hearts in fellowship each and every day, and not just come and sit on our phones and hold our own love to each other. It really is about us giving our hearts to each other in the fellowship.
What's up, bro?
Sometimes that will help the person that does not put their hand up that they need help. If we really share our hearts. I know that Aisha looking like she needs some love.
Hey,
Like,
Come on, Asia!
I know that Tupu looking like she needs some love.
Come on, Tupu!
So you really gotta give your heart to fellowship. So that everyone can go out and say, man, that is the kingdom of God.
That's
Give
right.
it to the visitors. I really want to welcome you guys to the RP International. This is what it's all about. It's about allowing Jesus. It's about loving God, loving people.
That's right.
Giving to your family. Yes, we still have to give to our family.
Hey.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 12.
Amen.
Just because your family is to put less doesn't mean you're not going to give.
That's right.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. It says, honor your father and your mother so that you may live a long life, long in the land the Lord your God is giving you.
Wow.
See, just because Jesus said to value God and the kingdom before your family doesn't mean you're not going to give to your family. I mean, I still have to give to my family.
That's right.
But you really got to really be good on the budget. For me, whenever I get my pay, I say I budget things. It's for God, it's for the household, for whatever things I need in the kingdom, and for my parents. And it's a good thing for me because I only have my parents. I don't have brothers and sisters. So it's a really easygoing family. Maybe some of you guys struggle a little, but you really got to be good on the budget.
Sure.
Come on down. But it's all about you helping your family out as well.
Yeah.
See, when your family see that you're giving back to them, it also helps them see that that is the standard of the kingdom. We still have to help our family. Doesn't mean that we mistreat them or we leave them out of the money that we have or the money that we get. You still got to give back to your family. It's also about giving to the lost. See, as disciples, this is what it's all about. Us giving back to the lost. And maybe us trying to save the lost. When we try to save the lost, it's about us giving our hearts. When you don't give your hearts to the people that you're trying to save, they will mostly not make it. And it's until you give your hearts that those people will actually make it. So the question is, have you been giving your hearts in your studies? Have you been giving your hearts in your sharing? I know we can be let down. We can be let down sometimes when people give you a false number or when people shrug you off and look down on you. But you just gotta move forward, saying that you are saved. But it's really about you giving your heart to those people. Really try and seek the lost. See, Jesus never had a problem with them because he knew that they are the ones that need saved. Some people may not see it now, but they will be grateful for you when you really give your heart.
Wow.
You see, you gotta remember how someone has given their hearts for you to be a hands for you. And then you gotta do the same for someone else.
Come on, Juju. Let's go, bro.
No, it's your turn to do the same and offer your hearts to them. No, in conclusion, what is the standard? The standard is Jesus and His Word. And we really must live up to the standard. Know the standard of love. Do you love the person next to you? Do you love God more than your family? Do you love the kingdom more than your family? Do you still love your family? You know, point number 2, the standard of giving. Have you been consistent with it? You know, what are some of the issues that is making you not give? Not give your heart to people, not give your heart to God, not give to God, not give for His kingdom. And then you really got to see what issues is going on. And you got to raise your hand and say, you need help. You really got to talk to your disciple and see some help and see a solution that will help.
Let's go, Juju.
See, some things to look forward to this year. We got the Austro China coming up.
Come on, son.
For the Austro China, there's going to be a sevens competition. So,
Hey!
and I tell you, Australia and New Zealand, they're really serious about it.
That's good. That's good.
And I feel like this is an opportunity for us to really get into shape. Get into shape.
Let's go finish.
Really get into shape, guys.
Amen.
And let's go for the girls as well, for the sisters as well.
Let's go, sisters.
The sisters, there's going to be a tag competition for you guys. And the sisters in Australia, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. So you guys really got to be fired up.
Come on, Juju.
But this is an opportunity for us to really come together and work together. Pushing each other.
That's right.
Losing weight together. Maybe you guys don't need to eat happy, but you just gotta be there. Be in the moments.
Come on, Juju.
Just do something. I know America's laughing now because that is the last lesson that we heard from Chelsea, from Rahul. Is just do something. Just do something. It's crazy. His points was very simple, but very impactful. So it just takes something. Just do something.
Wow.
But I'm ready. Are you guys ready? We won't have time, and I will see you to the issue. But man, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys.